welcome to today's Big Brother 19 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day are Jack D65 and his mom, Morticia Casket. Girl, is that your real name? Because if so, that's amazing. But I want to wish these two happy birthdays. Jack D's was yesterday and Morticia's is today. So I hope you guys are having an awesome 2 days. And this is my sultry look as Jack requested. Okay. Yeah! Alright, I hope you guys are having a great day. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so let's talk about what's been going on in the house. Dominique and Elena had a heart-to-heart in the HOH room last night, which was like really weird because it's like when your girlfriend and your best girlfriend hang out, and it's just weird and uncomfortable, right? So they were talking about the Marlena showmance. Dominique was like, I want to let you know I've encouraged Mark to be himself with you. I told him, you know, don't be this honeymoon version of yourself for 3 months because you want to present your actual self to somebody. So Elena's like, thank you for saying that to him. So then Dom is like, since we're talking about it, do you really like Mark? And Elena's just like, yeah, a lot of enthusiasm there, but that was like a friggin' stab in Dominique's heart. So Dom's like, well, that answer didn't seem too convincing. So Elena explains herself. She's like, well, I didn't really want to fall for anyone in here. The girl's got some hang-ups about getting into a relationship in this environment. Oh, duh, who wouldn't? You'd have to be a little bit crazy not to. Jess and Cody. Seriously, though, like, I don't understand how people do that, but you know what? It's all good. You do you. So anyway, Dominique tells her, yeah, Mark does like you. He's told me a lot of stuff, but I don't want to tell you all of it because she's like, if you guys do end up in a real relationship down the line, she wants her to discover those things on her own. She doesn't want to be the one to tell her stuff. I think she's talking about like Mark's mom and stuff and how he would open up about that. So then they have more girl and God talk, and I say that because Dominique is always like, oh, well, God told me that blah, blah, blah. And I'm not trying to make fun of her for being religious because I think that's wonderful if she has like an open dialogue with God. That's great. I'm not judging here, so like, chill. But it just catches me off guard sometimes when she's like, well, God told me that... Yeah, okay, so anyway, they were talking about Elena's insecurities, etc., etc. It was nice to see the two of them open up to each other. So then, Matt and Mark joined Dom and Elena up in the HOH room, and it was time for some game chat. So they're all pretty bored right now, game-wise. It's pretty clear that Cody will be leaving this week, and they pretty much have the next few weeks mapped out too, not taking into consideration like possible twists and stuff. So Matt is like, well, either Ramses or Jess are going to go home next week as long as neither of them win the HOH. Not necessarily. One of them could win POV and then like somebody else would go if there was some sort of vote flip or something, or one of them could win the DOT, Dead of Temptation. That halting hex is serious, okay? So that could change a lot of things. And then they're debating who's the bigger threat between Jess and Ramses. Who should they go for next? So Mark is like, I think Jess is better at stirring the pot. So he's saying we should get rid of her. And Dominique's like, but Ramses does that too. And he is a lot smarter than Jess, or at least that's what she's thinking. So Matt is like, we should see what Jess is going to be like after Cody's evicted. And if she's all defeated and she doesn't really want to be around, then we'll keep her. And then we'll get rid of like an actual threat and just keep around Debbie Downer and just let her like flow through, and we'll get rid of her whenever. Ugh, devious maids. So then Mark is like, why don't we just put up Jess and Ramses and then we'll see what happens throughout the week. Matt is like, yeah, or it might be better to put up one of them with a pawn, and then we don't have to piss off both of them, you know, just in case one of them stays. Well, I mean, somebody's going to stay. But he doesn't want that person to have a vendetta against them. I'm pretty sure they're going to be coming after you anyway, but okay. I'm sorry. I just have, like, this thing against Matt now after what he said yesterday about how he doesn't really care what happens in the game as long as he makes jury. Like, that put a really bad taste in my mouth. I had such high hopes for him. But anyway, later, Dominique and Mark were alone, and she lets him know, don't you be playing around with Elena because she has real feelings for you. She's trying to open up to you, so don't blow it. And he's like, okay. Alright, then, this is interesting, guys. Dom says that she caught Raven and Paul chatting one-on-one a few times now, and like every time she goes in there, they change the discussion. So she's like, I think for sure Paul wants to take her to the final 2. And she's saying, I'm fine with that because it's Raven and she's got like all those medical bills and she's such a sweetheart. And then they talk about how they're kind of struggling with wanting to win and wanting Raven to win because they don't want to look like jerks to everybody for wanting to win the game, and I don't blame them. Like, that would be really difficult because you don't want to be that person that like takes the money away from her, but at the same time, like, you're there for the same reason she is. You want to win the game. So it's tough. It's tough. But I'm glad that like not everybody's just like, let's throw it to Raven. Okay, so then Jason and Alex had a game chat in the money bedroom. And Jason's like, man, I think the other side wants me to win this HOH comp so that I can't play in the next one. So then he'll be vulnerable and they can just get rid of him. And Alex is like, nah, bruh, come on, open your eyes. They don't freaking trust you yet. You'll be safe for the next 3 weeks if you just fall in line like I have and prove that you're loyal to them. She's saying, if anything, they want you to win this next HOH so that you can put up who they want to get rid of and prove to them that you are trustworthy. So then she's saying they're worried if you win, you're going to do something crazy like put up Matt and Mark. And Jason's like, I wouldn't do something stupid like that, but I might put up Matt and Raven. Okay, so then Alex is talking about how she's annoyed that Christmas is likely just going to skate by all the way through the jury with her broken foot because who's going to freaking put her up now, right? Crazy. Alright, so then Matt and Raven were chatting in the Rose bedroom. And Raven says, I've got a secret that I've been keeping. So she lets Matt know, we already know this, guys, but she lets Matt know that she met Paul before the game in the outside world. So she's like, yeah, I met him in March, but I don't want everybody to know about it because it might not go over so well. Like, it's totally not a big deal, but not everybody will see it that way. So she says that Paul knew that she was going to be there because her name was leaked way ahead of the actual cast reveal. So he was like super excited about it. She's telling Matt about the picture that she has with Paul on her Instagram. Girl, we seen it. We know. So Matt's like, oh wow, that's so cool. Because you know Matt's just like, yeah, either you or Paul should win. Woo. Okay. And then Raven's like, yeah, obviously I'm good with Paul and I want you to know that you and Christmas are as well. Okay, so then Kevin, Alex, and Jason were in the money bedroom, and I think it's so funny that Kevin calls Alex Tiger. That's such a fun nickname. Excuse me. Okay, so then Jason lets them know that his birthday is tomorrow. It's his 38th birthday. Aww. But he's still a have-not. That sucks. And Big Brother told him, you're not getting real food. So, like, chillax, okay? Maybe they can make him some slop cakes or something. That sucks, though. Don't forget, he's a have-not for 2 weeks because he tried to go for that temptation and he failed. Okay. So then Alex is like, this is fun, but we need to start strategizing. So Kevin's like, all right, who are we going to put up if one of us wins HOH? What are we going to do? So Alex says, we need to stick with the plan for now and put up Jess and Ramsey's. We can't be rocking the boat. We don't have the numbers to pull off a big move. And Kevin's just like, argh. So then a few minutes later, Alex and Jason are talking alone. Oh shit, you guys, this is crazy. So Alex is getting really suspicious of Kevin right now. She's like, he's acting super weird and paranoid. He's like one of those mobsters before they rat on somebody or flip. And she's worried that he straight up lied to their faces about last week's vote. Yes. Are you finally coming around to believing that? But then she's like, but maybe he's just paranoid or he's getting more comfortable and this is more of his real personality that we're seeing now. So she does notice that his behavior is changing. She doesn't know if it's just normal Kevin or if he is freaking out. So she's going to be keeping a close eye on that, which is a little bit nerve-wracking, especially with what Paul has planned for Kevin's vote this week to vote out Ramsey's, to throw a hinky vote in there. So I don't know if that's such a good idea. But she said like he's being more aggressive towards Ramsey's. He's starting to be like that with Alex and she needs to get to the bottom of this. So she also tells Jason, we need to freaking start pulling people together or else we are screwed. Especially if we can't really trust Kevin right now. I hope Kevin's not in danger. Okay, so then at midnight, happy birthday, Jason. This was interesting. He didn't get any like lap dances or anything like they were gonna do for Dominique, but Alex, Christmas, Josh, and Ramses all beat him with pillows. They counted to 38. He freaking loved it. He was having a great time. It was really funny. I think the only part he didn't like was that Alex kept hitting him in his man parts, so that must have hurt a little bit. But let's move on. Then Paul and Dominique were upstairs in the HOH room. She's been sleeping up there. Christmas was initially, but I think it was too hot and it was like making her foot all swollen. Also, she has to like freaking butt scooch up those stairs, so that's a lot of work. But Dominique was up there and they were talking about how they're getting freaking sick of Christmas. We've seen a little bit of this from Paul, but now other people are starting to talk about it too. So they're not sure if she just has an attitude because of her meds or it's just who she is. But they are not liking it. So then Mark joins them. He shares his own Christmas stories. Paul was really caught up on this incident where like Christmas was telling him how to like style his beard or something. And he's like, I've had this beard for 4 years. I know what it's like. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. So then Paul predicts that she's going to start annoying everybody now because she's starting to get more comfortable in the house. So like she's starting to get more comfortable with the people, but at the same time she's going to be coming back from the surgery and she's going to be physically uncomfortable. So that's just like a recipe for disaster for her. Ooh, so we're about to find out what happens when people stop being polite and start being real. It's Real World Studio City. I had to throw that in there. Okay, so that's the vibe I was getting. Paul, a few minutes later, says he thinks that Christmas should go home and heal because that foot is like her bread maker. She's got her whole brand with all the athletics and blah blah blah. So what am I saying? He thinks that she should go home. Damn, they were so tight before and that's unraveling very quickly. So late last night, Josh had a little monologue going in the Apple Lounge and he tells us that he trusts Christmas, Paul, Mark, and Dominique, but he's not stupid. He knows that they're all part of this huge alliance and he feels like people are really underestimating his intelligence and how athletic he is. I don't know. We'll see. Even he admitted after he said it like, well, maybe I am a little slow. But he wants to prove himself through actions, 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 actions. He said it like 50 times. Actions. And then he was saying that once they hit the jury, he wants to take out Matt. He didn't really describe why he wants to go for Matt specifically, but I am interested to hear more about that. I want to know. And that was pretty much like all the important stuff that he said in his speech. Alright, so then today, Christmas was up this morning getting ready to leave for her surgery. I think it's later this afternoon, but she was leaving in the morning. So Cody joins her in the bathroom area, and this was super interesting. This was probably one of my favorite conversations of the season so far. So Cody starts by apologizing for being a jerk the past few days. He says that he wanted to make sure that he was going to be the target and not Jess. Alright, and then Christmas wants to know why he has so much animosity and disdain for her. Like, what's going on there? So Cody's like, honestly, I wasn't happy when you started saying stuff about Jess after the POV ceremony. She had nothing to do with that move, and for you to be like, I'm gonna target you now, he didn't like that. So Christmas is like, no, it wasn't like that. I never said that she was gonna be guilty by association. I said that other people might think that. I don't know, I don't remember exactly what she said, but I feel like she probably said that she was going to be guilty by association, right? Okay, if anybody knows for sure, leave it in the comments. Okay, so then Christmas was like, I want to know for real, why did you put me up on the block last week? So Cody starts out with the same explanation as before. She caused anxiety in the group, she was the closest to Paul, and he obviously couldn't go for Paul. And then he drops a bomb. He's like, and 2 people came to me and said that they wanted you out. Mark and Dominique. Oh, shit! So this is like a major bomb right here. Knowledge. So he was like, yeah, I was super shocked when they told me that. And then a few days later, they turn their backs on me and tell me that they're gonna vote for you to stay. Like, what the hell is that? They're acting like I'm so freaking crazy and I went rogue. But they told me that they wanted to see that happen. So Christmas is like, damn, like it makes sense because Matt wouldn't talk to her for like a day and a half after that, but she was really shocked that Dominique was involved in that as well. So then Cody's saying, yeah, if there's a battle back competition, there's a good chance that I'm gonna come back, and if so, he wants them to work together and freaking tear it up. He wants to go after those people that betrayed him. Can you imagine how crazy that would be if Cody came back and like people were working with him and not just trying to get rid of him? Damn. So then Cody is also trying to give her some advice. He's also trying to look out for Jess and Alex. He's like, yeah, you, Jess, and Alex are the 3 strongest women in this season. You don't have to be friends, but if you guys could get on the same page, it would be crazy. And it really would. Can you imagine those 3 working together? Nuts. So then a little while later, Christmas left for her surgery. See you tomorrow. Hope it all goes well. And other than that, it's been a pretty slow day because there's not really any campaigning going on. Everybody knows that Cody's going. I freaking forgot that Alex and Ramsey's were even up on the block. It feels like we're just waiting for Cody to go. It's insane. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who are you rooting for the next HOH competition? And who did you vote for Den of Temptation? I'm curious. So let me know. And until tomorrow, much love.